Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Mariana Vasconcelos. I'm founder and CEO at Agrosmart. Can you see my screen like correctly?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
perfect.
Well, so I am daughter of farmers, so I grew up very closely to the daily challenge of decision making in the field, like where farmers rely on intuition and in neighbors in order to decide what to do. And that's why I created Agrosmart, because I wanted to help my dad and my region and my country to have a better agriculture that is more productive, but at the same time that is more sustainable. And that's when we look the history of evolution of agriculture, we see so many changes with the green revolution, no-till technologies, biotech, precision ag. And we now have like this huge transformation with digital agriculture to overcome challenges like climate change, droughts, limited land, and the need to increase food production so we can feed 50 billion people. And in that transformation, we see that data is very important and it's essential. As we can measure, we can improve. So we really wanted to shift this decision making in the field from intuition to data. And one of the main limitations that we had was connectivity. So emerging countries like Brazil and Latin America have no internet signal in the field. So the first thing we did was to be able to collect data remotely from sensors in a cheap way, so we could transform that data in intelligence across the supply chain. So Agrosmart platform today delivers agronomic intelligence to the whole food supply chain, starting from the seed input and distribution companies, where we work with R&D in the seed, crop protection, and biological companies, creating more efficient agronomic protocols, and then doing cross sales with them so they can add value to their customers, including digital distribution of those inputs, with now the dealers trying to transform themselves as well and aggregate service and value. Then we move to the growers, where they receive those inputs and they have to make a lot of decisions, and we help them to collect and data and monitor farms and then generate agronomic models such as irrigation, weather, crop insights and alerts so they can make the better decisions. We move into the last part where the food companies, the tradings, they buy from the growers, helping them to monitor sustainability KPIs, understanding like water footprint, carbon footprint, allocating better their labor, as they usually have agronomists that have to follow up those farmers, as well as creating long-term sourcing strategies. So as climate is changing, these companies need to ensure they will continue to have food in the quality and the quantity that they need. So we help them to relocate to other regions where the microclimate is more proper, or create intelligence as disease preventing models and seed variety choices. And lastly, we also work with the credit insurance companies using that same data to create customized financial services that are more accessible to farmers. So Agrosmart literally helps the data to flow across the food supply chain. And as we understand the dynamics, we pull everyone together to be able to deliver more productivity and more sustainability. And the way we see that digital transformation happening across the different customer segments is what we call like a customer journey. So we believe the first thing in a digital transformation journey is to have data. As I just mentioned, many developing countries have no data. Everything is in the mind of the farmer. So to that, we deliver sensors where we can monitor the crops, like weather stations, rain gauges, soil sensors. With a connectivity solutions, we were the first one to break the connectivity solution to be able to collect that data, and a field notebook that allows us to collect data from the food companies' supply chain to ensure that they are compliant with certifications and sustainability protocols. And then we also aggregate images from satellites and so on. The second step is like transform that data in intelligence. As we see, like many ag techs are focused on generating that first need that's having the data. And what we hear from our customers is that many times they don't know what to do with it. They have a weather station, they have no value, and then they complain on return on investment. So our job there was to try to transform that data into intelligence. The first algorithm we built was an irrigation recommendation algorithm, where we are able to save up to 40% of energy, 60% of water, and increase yield in up to 20%. We moved into developing our own weather forecast. We have the most assertive weather forecast in the agricultural market in Brazil, and we are running it for all Latin America now. And we also have disease forecasting models. So like we were able to launch in the last year a coffee rust prediction model, where with 15 days in advance, we can predict the incidence of the disease. And we were able to decrease in a whole region the incidence from 30% to 2%. So like we are able to deliver value to the farmer, return on investment in each data. And once we do that, like in 1 and 2, 3 decisions, the farmers starts demanding things to be integrated. So like we hear, okay, we have many ag techs, we have many apps, and they don't talk to each other. So we need things to be integrated. So we partnered with more than 30 other ag companies, like Climate Field View, for example, that monitors the machinery, where we make a correlation between rain and yield, or with Indigo, for example, to create a better protocol to apply their biological products. And that way the farmers can access combined intelligence from these companies, either in our platform or in the partner platform. And on the fourth, like in last mile to the digital transformation, we believe in the long-term strategic intelligence. It would be choosing the correct seed variety, or deciding which regions have an adequate microclimate from each to source from. So and measure better impacts and so on. So for that, like we aggregate the data and we use reports and machine learning to help those companies with long-term strategies. And as we believe, and that's why we draw it as a journey, farmers have to go through that. So we try to align expectations and understand where they are and offer a correct package for each step of that journey. So like in a more practical way, we have the data collection here on the right, from the sensors, from the grower data and the APIs, the field notebook, the imagery, and then we generate the insights that can be accessed in the mobile phone, in the web platform, and even alerts where they can transform their own knowledge based on the data in rules that they can be remembered to perform the activity they have to. So for example, we have agronomists performing consultancies through the platform on the best moment to spray, or the disease forecasting models for other crops. So they can create those rules and the farmers will be alerted massively. Our main differentiation, despite the achievements we had with specific models and agronomic insights, that we are experts in tropical agriculture in emerging countries. So like learning the challenges from low infrastructure, low levels of education, different microclimates, and how to adapting algorithms to that. We come from farming families and from an agriculture powerhouse that is Brazil. So we are close to Latin American market, and that's where we are positioning mostly our solution. We deliver a systemic view with end-to-end solutions, like from the connectivity sensors to advanced models in the whole food supply chain, that allow us to have a privileged understanding on how to help better each customer segment. We have a multidisciplinary team, like from PhDs and masters in agronomy, meteorology, hardware, and software. And we built a strong network of support. So we have like localized people to support farmers in the operations in day-to-day, in hardware maintenance, and agronomic follow-up. Where we are now, we have more than 1.7 million acres monitored, with sensors deployed in 9 countries in more than 25 crops, with over than 30,000 sensors connected to the platform. We were invested first by SP Ventures in our seed round. They are one of the top agtech investors by AgFunder, very known in Latam. We also did an acceleration program with Thrive in the US, where we extended our network in US farming and understanding better the market. In our Series A, we got an investment from Positivo, that is the Latin American largest computer manufacturer, that helped us to create scale and reduce cost in the operations and product. From Bradesco, that is the second largest private bank in Latin America, where they also have a joint venture with Swiss Re. So we are building the distribution of Agrosmart together with credit and insurance, and a New York family office with farming operations in Latin America. We were recognized by the World Economic Forum as the 61 companies that are technology pioneers in 2018, and it continues until today, considered the most innovative and impactful companies. We joined the UN Global Compact last year, and that's why we really believe in impact. So we try to endorse a new way of doing agriculture that is climate resilience and that considers impact besides production. So these are some examples of the SDGs that we address, and we generate direct impact on water savings, increase of yield, reduction of inputs. We have like one example here of irrigation, where we were able to save $88,000 for the farmer in first season, and that completely pays the return of the investment of the system and continue to generate overall impact. We have a very diverse team. Right now, we are 57 people between agronomists, marketers, engineers. Like the management team is formed by me. I have a business background in Brazil and also in some universities of the US with an MBA in agronomy. Cristiano is our COO. He was director at AB InBev for many years in sales and operations. Guilherme comes from the crop and sustainability background, being an agronomist and having a master in chemistry and agriculture and carbon and this kind of things. And Rafael is a designer. So he brings us together this vision of putting together software, hardware, and science. Well, that's a quick overview. Agrosmart is about to start a new fundraising round to advance in a consolidation thesis where we really believe farmers want to see things together and independently. So we are advancing into merging and acquiring other ag techs in Latin America mostly. That's our short-term goal, to become a leader as a digital agriculture platform in Latin America. And as a next step for the next fundraising, stepping into Southeast Asia and Africa, which are countries that shares the same challenges that we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Yeah, now I close your presentation. We are running a little bit late, but don't worry, dear audience. We will have Mariana tomorrow as a part of a special panel in talking about Latin America and different entrepreneur stories. So you can hold your questions for tomorrow. So now we can end not too late. So thank you very much, Mariana, and see you again tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye. Now we are moving with Anju. Anju, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. Now I will. All right. So, Anju, you have the privilege of closing our second day of the VSAT. So you have all the scenario for you. So you can share your screen.
Thank you, Alberto. It's such a pleasure to be here today, and looks like I have extra responsibility here to be the final presenter.
You can press, yeah, and now project full screen. And there we are. Perfect. You are on full screen.
Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. Anju Krivov. I am the CEO and co-founder, president of GSR Solutions. My company is in the business of making farms sustainable, and by transforming especially ag and food waste as well as CO2 emissions into a variety of value products for several global markets, especially food, water, and energy. Now, speaking of waste, globally, about 1/3 of food produced is just wasted, and that's about 1.6 billion tons of produce annually. It just goes into waste stream as waste stream, and this amounts to about $3 trillion. Its value is. And speaking of manure waste, animal feeding operations they produce about 100 times more manure than we humans do on the planet. And biggest challenge is that solids could be managed from all these different wastes. However, wet waste is the biggest challenge to deal with, and that's what generates nutrient runoff and algae blooms and foodborne diseases as well, especially from manure spreading. And topping all that with CO2 emissions, which is about about 1 trillion tons buildup, and that needs to be sequestered. And cost of algae bloom cleanup over 20 years, as per one of the studies, they estimated somewhere around over $3 trillion. So we have colossal waste issues. However, tremendous market opportunities as well. Unfortunately, there are very limited solutions that could actually provide value to customers. And we are trying to do is turn around different waste streams, ag and food waste, into several valued products for soil and crop fertility, as well as animal feed, alternative protein supplement for animal feed. In our especially bio-based CO2 hungry process, it requires intensive feeding and intensive supply of nutrients, waste nutrients as well, and different value products that come out. I'll talk about in few slides down, for making farms financially sustainable. That's so two of the global challenges have selected our innovation GSR solutions as the most feasible and affordable solution. One is Teraton Challenge, and their goal is to accelerate soil carbon sequestration of 1 trillion CO2 tons in the atmosphere. And Nutrient Recycling Challenge, around 21 partners. On the right-hand corner, you may see all those logos. They are partners of Nutrient Recycling Challenge. This was sponsored by EPA and USDA. We've been working with several of our customer partners and have several agreements set up, and have done multiple field trials of our certified organic products. There are a few slides on that. I'll talk about that. And very interesting customer opportunity of over 18 million acres of cropland, and which is Teraton's focus actually. And our products, especially carbon and soil sequestration, is this is another one of the slides. I'll talk about that as well. So how our technology works, actually, normally some of our customers, especially livestock farms, they store manure in their lagoons, and usually runoff goes to different water bodies. And what we are doing is we're taking these nutrients and carbon, and it goes through our patent pending process. And we are providing triple value proposition for our customers, especially for financial benefits as well as environmental benefits. Especially our technology offers savings in the form of treatment of excessive nutrients. And it also provides actually additional revenue to our customers through the production of different high value products. And environmental benefits, it also enables our customers to maximize carbon and nutrient credits. Right now, there are only some of the states in the United States are facilitating credits. However, our technology is available to our customers to harness all those different benefits. Our business model is technology licensing and several fee-based services to our customers. These are livestock farms, dairy, hog, chicken farm, food and beverage industries as well, and composting centers, facilities too. It's like I mentioned earlier, most of the solid material from food and ag waste, it's possible to manage. The real issue is wet waste, and that's also an issue with food waste composting centers as well. And with our utility partners, customers, especially biodigesters in the energy space, our model is to make our technology available at a very discounted, highly discounted licensing fees based in the initial years, and switch it to a regular fee-based model. And over 5 years, we project that how our explosive growth would take place based on, we projected based on several of our MOUs and agreements signed with some of our customers in the United States as well as in Canada. Some are livestock farms, industry such as municipal, as well as food and beverage industry, and some of our channel partners too. Our scale-up marketing and sales strategy is threefold. First, to leverage our strategic partnerships. We have built several partnerships within the United States, in the Northeast, Midwest, as well as in Canada, with some of the channel partners and some of direct customer base as well. And we've been doing a lot of third-party field trials, and some of the success stories should be coming out soon. We've been working on, unfortunately, this COVID situation just threw us like everyone out there. We are looking for a new normal now. And as well as our third-party validations across different market sectors, ag sector, industry, and municipal as well. And marketplace access worldwide. There are few, especially with the U.S. Department of Ag, several of our products, valued products, have been developed and listed. And as I mentioned earlier, with the Terraton Challenge, customer opportunity for over 18 million acres of cropland that so many farmers have dedicated to Terraton acres, as they call Terraton acres in this. There are several competitors, other companies trying to achieve a high environmental and high financial benefit-based model to customers. Like I mentioned earlier, right now, there are limited technologies that are actually providing high environmental benefit as well as high financial benefit to make our customers or technology users sustainable. And some of these companies are in the nutrient recycling area, some are in carbon sequestration area, and some are in several technologies, mechanical and chemical-based technologies. I could give you some examples of the technologies trying to achieve or recover nutrients up to maximum 95% or of, say, nitrogen and phosphorus. These technologies are centrifuge-based or mechanical-based, chemical or struvite based solutions, or membranes and flocculation as well. So several different approaches are out there trying to achieve and provide benefits to especially livestock farms. So this is how, this is a glimpse of, I just wanted to share with you one of our case studies of several done funded by the US Department of Ag, and customer sponsored as well. so how our technology would provides benefit to a customer is by improving their margin. And this is with and without scenario. So with scenario in one of the farm operations, say about 29% of their margin achieved. And with technology, GSR technology would improve it by 10 points. And likewise, payback and return on investment is super important for most of our customers. And we projected about 3 years, especially in this particular scenario. And think of it, livestock farms in the US alone, there are about 1.6 million dairy cattle and cow farms, and about 250,000 chicken and broiler farms. And then there are, on top of that, hog farms. And then there are thousands of food and beverage industries, and then wastewater treatment facilities. And so we have a wide sector, customer base sector. This is another glimpse of some of our field trials conducted by our third-party independent third-party partners. And we were so pleased with the outcomes of these results. They compared our soil fertility and especially products with fertilizers as well as soil amendment products with the market brands. And our products met or exceeded the comparable market brand. And this is super important for a livestock farm, especially the kind of product they could produce for the producer farm. So it's a very good networking model that how livestock farms are directly, they themselves are growing several different types of crops and could support local markets as well. So livestock farms, usually they have very small window of manure spreading on their cropland, and usually they have 2 windows: before crop is planted and after harvest. And in between, they get a lot of fertilizers, mostly chemical fertilizer for side dressing. And if we could replace that chemical fertilizer with these value products and add top of that benefits of extra yield, that would make a lot, take away a lot of problems, and not just of manure spreading. However, would support organic markets. And where we are is all account of our amazing team. We have myself and 3 co-founders. Several of our accomplished business and technical experts are not on the slide. And I really, really appreciate working with everyone. And yes, we are raising capital right now. And for several reasons, we are trying to bring our products and services, prepping for market launch, and also developing brands and marketing side, and would be preparing for follow-up rounds as well. So with that, if you have any questions or suggestions or feedback, send us an email and contact us, and be so pleased to engage with your conversation. So any questions?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Anju. It's very interesting, all the ways that you are treating and getting nutrients out of things that usually no one looks. So thank you for sharing. We are running out of time, as I previously said, although we have one question from the audience, and we would like to know what's the mix of customers that you currently have, like between large corporate producers and small family producers. If you can tell us a little bit about that.
So we have, I would say, about 40, 50, 40, 60, 40% direct customers and 60% more are strategic partner channel partners.
Perfect.
And I'll be so happy to answer any further questions you get. Just email me and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Yeah. To remind the audience, everything will be recorded and immediately available online. So while Anju was presenting her slides at the end, it was your email. So they have all the contact information. So
great.
we would like to thank you, Anju. And with this,
My pleasure.
we are finishing our second day. Tomorrow is our last day of this conference that so far it's like a marathon, an international marathon with people from all around the world jumping and sharing different perspective on AgTech. Tomorrow we are going to open in the midday of at noon of Eastern time with a panel on India. Then we are following with a panel on Latin America, and then we will be closing with specific panels on Asia Pacific and also about the COVID. You know, everyone has talked about the COVID, but now we are going to deep dive on a specific panel on that. So, and you will wait you tomorrow. You will be on the other side, but to the rest of the audience, we will be waiting for you, waiting for your questions and engagement. And thank you very much.
Absolutely, I'll be there, and I wouldn't miss it for anything. And stay safe and healthy.
Goodbye.
To everyone.